Texas Tech has had one of the best defenses in all of college football this year. A lot of that can be attributed to their pass rush, where they may have 2 first-round picks off the edge. But all 3 levels of the Red Raiders defense has been elite this year, and they have a Heisman campaign ongoing for their superstar linebacker, Jacob Rodriguez. Rodriguez is a player who I liked this offseason, but he has taken his game to a whole new level in 2025. How good is Jacob Rodriguez, and how high should he be taken in the 2026 NFL Draft? That is what we will be going over in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a ton and helps get this video out to more NFL Draft fans like yourselves. Comment down below which players you guys want to see in a future episode just like this, and without further ado, let's get into it. Jacob Rodriguez was a quarterback recruit in the 2021 recruiting class who committed to play at Virginia. He transferred to Texas Tech after just 1 year with the Cavaliers and moved position to play defense and play inside linebacker. There was a learning curve, but over the last 2 seasons, Jacob Rodriguez has solidified himself as one of the best linebackers in all of college football. In 2024, Rodriguez had 22 pressures, 6 sacks, 85 tackles, 42 run stops, 3 forced fumbles, and an interception. He came back to Tech for his senior season, and he has been phenomenal in 2025. And some people think he should be in the running for the Heisman Trophy, and it's hard to argue with the numbers that he has put up. So far, Rodriguez has 4 pressures, 1 sack, 81 tackles, 58 run stops, 7 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions, and 3 pass breakups. He's been absolutely unreal this year for the Red Raiders and is a guy who I think has the chance to go a lot higher than many people expect. The first thing that really sticks out with Rodriguez is how good of a downhill presence he is, particularly against the run. He's a good blitzer, but he has dialed that back quite a bit in 2025, but I think he is a fantastic run defender. He's such a smart player pre-snap, recognizing where the ball is going to go, and he does a great job at knifing through offensive linemen to blow up plays in the backfield. He seemingly always is in the right place at the right time, and he has excellent positioning for the linebacker position. On top of that, I think Rodriguez has good sideline-to-sideline speed to track rushers down once they're able to break outside. I also think Rodriguez is a very strong player. He does a good job of stacking and shedding blockers, and I think he is an excellent run defender and is going to be an impactful player in that phase right away. I also think that Rodriguez is a very sound coverage linebacker. He reads the quarterback's eyes very well in coverage. He is so good at sticking in his zone assignment, reading where the quarterback wants to go, and then baiting the quarterback into making bad throws. Throughout his career, Rodriguez has 6 interceptions, and he's been very active in passing lanes as well. I even think in man coverage there is some upside for Rodriguez to have an impact at the next level. I don't think he's a superstar athlete, which we'll get to in a little bit, but he definitely has the ability to stick with running backs or tight ends out of the backfield, and I think he's very good at defending the flat in zone coverage. So overall, I think Rodriguez is going to be a sound coverage linebacker at the next level. Rodriguez is also excellent at forcing turnovers. This is a hard trait to kind of, put a number on, but the ball skills have been there in coverage, but his ability to force fumbles is phenomenal. Rodriguez is a very strong player, and he is a very high motor player. He hits extremely hard and is consistently going for the kill shot, and because of that, he is able to force the ball out. He has 12 career forced fumbles, which is a pretty elite number for a college linebacker. He's a turnover machine, and his IQ and overall play strength, I think, play a huge part into why he's so successful. While there is a lot to like with Jacob Rodriguez, there are some question marks that I have. For one, I don't think he is a very good athlete like we mentioned earlier. He has some nice plays in terms of his lateral agility, and I think he does a good job with his sideline to sideline speed, but Rodriguez is lacking elite long speed, and I don't think he's got very good change of direction. He's got stiff hips, he struggles to turn and run, and that is something that I do slightly worry about with him. I also think Rodriguez is a bit on the smaller side. He's listed at 6'1", 235 pounds, and while I'm not too worried about it because linebackers are seemingly getting smaller and smaller, there are times when I think his size can limit him, particularly when he's trying to get off of blocks. There were a lot of times where he was just swallowed up by blockers. I just don't think he is a linebacker prospect with elite athletic traits, and I think as a result that will cause him to slip a little bit in the draft. I'm personally not concerned about it, and he's still pretty high on my board, but I do think the NFL may come in lower on him than I am. Secondly, I do think Rodriguez has poor tackling technique. We mentioned he's consistently going for the big hit, and it does lead to missed tackles. Rodriguez has a 15.4% missed tackle rate over his career, which is a bit higher than I'd like it to be. He's a very aggressive downhill player, which leads to some of the missed tackles, and I also think he can overextend in the run game as well, leading to just flat out whiffs, so I think he could tone that down a little bit. Lastly, defending play action is a concern that I have in Rodriguez's game. He's very aggressive with his eyes and he bites at the first thing he sees. Because of that, defenders are able to get open behind him in coverage, and I want to see him be a bit more grounded and not so aggressive in play action looks. Jacob Rodriguez is a very high IQ linebacker that can force turnovers at a very high level. I think he can cover well, and I think he can be an all-out great downhill presence. I don't think he's the greatest athlete, and he is smaller than is ideal, but he is the type of linebacker that I think NFL teams are going to fall in love with because of how he can see the game. I'm very high on him, and I think he can be a Pro Bowl type linebacker in the NFL. Rodriguez is my number 6 linebacker in the draft class, and I have a top 75 grade on him as a prospect. In terms of a scheme fit, I think that Jacob Rodriguez is a player who fits perfectly as a Mike linebacker. The player that wears the green dot, the quarterback of the defense, I think you can pluck him into the middle of your defense and he can have success. Whether it be because of the great range and coverage, because of what he can do downhill, the way he can see things pre-snap, I think he can be very successful as a starting middle linebacker at the NFL level. My player comparison for Jacob Rodriguez is Buffalo Bills linebacker Matt Milano. While Milano hasn't had a very good year in 2025, he is still a guy that had very good years for Buffalo and was able to do everything in the middle of that Bills defense. Back in his prime, Milano was able to blitz, cover, was great at forcing turnovers, had good ball skills, but Milano isn't the most traitsy, nor was he ever the most physically imposing player. I think Rodriguez is very similar and can have a very similar type of impact at the NFL level. Milano's probably a bit faster than Rodriguez is, but in terms of overall play style, I see a ton of similarities in the two. Jacob Rodriguez is a cerebral linebacker. He is one of the highest IQ linebackers in the draft class. He's a fantastic run defender, and I think he can make so many plays for the middle of your defense. I'm a huge fan, and ultimately, I believe that Jacob Rodriguez will be a top 100 pick in the 2026 NFL Draft.